Okay, I got my not so trusty tripod. It's probably gonna break 20 times before the day's over. I sort of cleaned up a little bit, swept up a pile of dust, trash, and some other things, my old light fixtures, and dumped them into the dumpster with the tractor. Now I moved my 2 totes of feed over to this corner, and now we have this abandoned project I need to start working on again. I picked up this trailer off of Facebook or Craigslist or something. Probably Facebook. I don't use Craigslist anymore. It's too many scammers. But I don't think I have enough wood for what I want to do. And the wood I do have is plywood sheets, 8-footers, I believe, and they're 5/8 thick, and I don't need anything that thick for a chicken coop. All right, guys, I'm gonna get started on this. I went and bought some more lumber, just loaded up in the back of the truck so I can frame this in. Plywood is pretty pricey, pretty disappointed there, but I needed some more of this. I don't want to use 5/8 on all of this, so I'll probably keep the same on the other side for this part, for the bottom board. But the rest of this I'm gonna make with this 1/4-inch ply. I'll probably paint it afterwards. They had some actual siding that you see on a lot of the sheds for sale, 4x8 sheets, but it was like $10 more for a sheet. It was tongue and groove, and I wasn't gonna line up for me anyway, so it doesn't look any better to me. So I don't really care how it looks. I'll make it as good as I can, but it's not gonna be my priority. It's function, it's what I care about. So right now, what I'm working on is this piece right here, my nesting boxes. So I guess the rule is about 12 by 12 inches per box. This goes from front to back 16 inches. So it's about 16 inches, and so I have plenty of room. So what I did was I cut this piece right here. I already had this screwed in. Cut this piece right here, 56 5/8. Squeeze it in there, and then what I'll do is I'll drill some pilot holes in the. Whenever you screw into an end of a board on the surface here, you want to drill a pilot hole. Otherwise, when you go to tighten down that screw, it's gonna split your board, most likely. At least a section of it could split right off. So what you do now, if you drill in the actual end going in, you should be just fine. So what you have to eliminate that is you just drill a pilot hole using a drill bit smaller than the screw you're gonna use. So I'm gonna use this. I know it looks, I don't know what it is, but that's what I'm gonna use. And I don't know what screws I'm gonna use right now because everything got moved, but I have these spacks. Those are gonna be too long. I have these, they're called, these are too short, of course. I need more screws. So those are my favorite screws to use right now. You can buy a larger, but this should work. Now, on all the pieces, I don't know if this is gonna work, but that's what we're gonna get started with. I might have to run to the store and buy some more, unfortunately. Unless I can find some and piece them together. But with these screws is they have that star head. So it gets pretty good grip. Basically, you're not gonna strip it out. That tub also comes with the actual fitting you need. So if you're worried about buying those screws and not having the right fitting, you don't have to worry about buying one. It comes with it. I know I already have one, but now I have two. So that's what we're gonna use. It drills in pretty easy. We'll get this side lined up and pilot hole and drilled in. We'll see what it looks like. Next thing we're gonna do is put a lip on the front. This is gonna be the front because we're gonna access from the outside. Because I'm not gonna have so much access to the inside. So basically, I took a 2x4 that I had. I'm putting that on the front access, which is lower than the back. It's higher than the back, but it's gonna create a lip so that when they get in there, they're not gonna push out the whatever kind of bedding I have in there, whether it be straw or shavings. All right, so now we're gonna make basically each nesting box. Basically, we're gonna frame each one in. So it's gonna be individual boxes. We're gonna take a 1/4 inch piece of plywood. We're gonna cut those down to slide in. This will be 14.5 inches. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna use a 1x or 1.5. This is actually 1.5 inches wide. We're gonna take one of these, cut them 14.5 inches. And we're gonna take the table saw and we're gonna make a groove, a 1/4 inch groove inside of this. And we're gonna put it inside here. Whenever we figure out the height, we're gonna put it up the backside, and that should be good. And then we're gonna slide that in, and then when the top goes over it should lock it all into place. And we're just gonna make it a square. I'm not gonna do an angle with hinges because I'm just gonna get down and pull the eggs out. So I'm gonna change my mind on the type of wood I'm gonna use. I'm gonna use a 2x6 that I found. And I'm gonna cut that down on the table saw. And as long as I have enough, I need 3 pieces. Here we go, we're gonna use this piece. And I'm gonna cut this down to 3 pieces. And each piece will have the groove down the center, lengthwise, for that 1/4 inch plywood. And unfortunately, guys, I can't film this because I don't have a tripod that's gonna work. I need to grab one. I keep putting that off. There you go. I did all this on the table saw, that 2x6. Turned it into 3 pieces. All right, so I noticed something that I'm gonna do because it's only 2 screws I need to take off. So this back piece right here, I'm gonna take that off, and where these, I screwed them on the fronts, right here, just on the bottom 1 screw. I didn't screw it through the back, but I also want to put a groove in this board. That way, the 1/4 inch plywood I could stick in here, it's gonna actually stick in here. So this will hug it, this will hug it, and then I'll have another one of these that will shoot upward and it'll have a groove in it also. And then I'll have those 2 sections to hold it. So I cut too many, but I didn't really, because I'm gonna make nesting boxes on the other side. So really I need to I need double the pieces. So I use, when I'm making a lot of the same cuts, I measure and remeasure and just double check it, slow down. The first piece, 10.5 inches, I measure that. And then basically what I do for the next piece is I take that first piece, stack it on top, flush up the end. It'd be like this. Flush it up. And basically, I'm gonna draw a line with the pencil. I'm gonna cut the next piece, and then that new piece, I'm gonna stack it. And that first piece that I cut, I'm gonna keep using that same exact piece of the stencil. That way, the pieces will stay more true. If you decide you're gonna cut one shorter on accident or a little bit longer, now what you're gonna do is you're just gonna multiply it by all the pieces that you put out. So I always like to use the very first piece that I double checked, and you can't go wrong if you're doing it in fast. So you're taking that piece, you're just drawing lines, and I don't draw the line until I cut the next piece. That's when I draw the line. I don't draw the line down the entire length of the board until the one piece is chopped. Draw the next line, chop that, draw the next line. That way your cuts are gonna be a lot more true to each other, consistent. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this guy here for a template for the opposite side. And what I should have did was write these down. I will, before I get this all covered up, I'll write it down, all my measurements, pieces I need. Not that everybody has the same exact trailer, it's kind of a unique project. So if you happen to have this, it's a hinge trailer, it tilts, a tilt trailer. And it has these brackets that'll fit, like a 2x4 will fit in there. So these aren't even bolted into the trailer. I mean, technically I could, with a tractor or something, I could probably lift this thing off. So enough weight will hold it on though. I did kind of like a pocket screw on the sides, using a pilot drill. Just one screw. Now, those are all the same height. And 12 inches. So, we're looking good. It should have plenty of space. I had to take that back piece off and cut some grooves into the back piece. These are only attached on the front part. I don't have them screwed in down here. I'm gonna make the what am I trying to say here? The board that goes in between them, it'll be tall enough where the roof cap of this will keep it down, and I won't have to worry about it coming out. Here's a little cut that will help. Looks like it's not completely straight, but basically, if you can take a saw and cut half of the width of your board, so I'll pop this off, on each connecting board, so it's gonna be like a puzzle. So this part will fit in the piece that's cut this way. So for this piece is this is gonna sit on top of a board that I already have cut. It'll be like a puzzle. Now, it's easier to do this if you have the right stuff. If the piece is small enough, it's easier to do it on a table saw. I have this miter saw. If you can set that top part to a certain depth, I guess. I need a 3/4 inch depth. Then that would make things a lot easier. Otherwise, you're just doing it by hand. You could tell this side I did with the miter saw. I didn't use any chisel. This side I did on a table saw, right on the line. Pretty clean. Just gotta be careful. But this is gonna eliminate those awkward joints that are weak. When you put this in, you're gonna drill pilot holes through the top of this into the next board. Make sure it goes all the way through this part. These ones, it don't matter so much because it's going through the end. These ones are going on the flat part. So, here we go. All right, so I screwed up, but it's one of those mistakes that you can be pleased with. And maybe I should have made a bigger mistake, but look at this. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I mentioned it a minute ago. This is angled. It's a little off. And now I know why. If I would have if I would have did a notch out of the other part, flip this around basically, this board right here. Basically, that's the space that's subtracted over here. But now there's a slope, which if it does rain here, maybe that's what I need. I should probably keep it that way. And otherwise, if I want to keep it flat, I'll just put a little 3/4 inch thick piece of that 1.5 by in there. Not sure. So yeah, this piece right here. So basically I could take this little chunk and put it in between sandwiched, and that would eliminate that problem. But I'm kind of liking it. I think I might just leave it the way it is. It's still got that clearance in the front. It's still over 12 inches high. I'm gonna keep it.
Well, now I wish I could copy and paste. I think I like it. I don't have any complaints. I think it's better than I expected. I'm not a master carpenter. So I'm swear to you, I have no plans. I just kind of am winging it as I go. There's a couple things on there, yeah, I probably would have changed now, but I will stick with it for now. So I added this because I'm gonna put the sheet over the top of this. I wanted stability, and to get the stability at this level, because there's a gap, I needed another piece right here, and then I put supports in front of each divider, except for the ends, which they're 8.5 inches. I'll probably just cut 2 more and add them, just more to screw to. So when I'm finished, I'll side it with the 1/4 inch plywood, and if I have anything I want to connect, I can, it's kind of like a header. It's nice to have extra things to screw to where the screws aren't going to pop out the back. I'm trying to keep this where the screws aren't going to interfere with the chickens. So it's looking good now. I'm actually motivated. Now I need to replicate this on this side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through here and I'm going to measure each piece, and make all my cuts and then lay them out. Hey guys, we finished the framing in the second nesting boxes. So I got 8 for my hens. We'll do a walk around. All right, here it is, trailer / chicken coop. So you can kind of put your imagination to work and see in the center, that's gonna be a roosting area, possibly, where your droppings will just go straight down through the mesh onto the ground. These will have a 1/4-inch plywood siding along the sides here and this side. And their access will be from the outside of the coop. And I will put a roost of some sort to go across, and probably a little support in the middle. Something that will hinge, and it'll close up, so I can close it at night. Roll around to the back of the trailer. This is just a scrap piece. This part right here, I'm thinking I'm gonna leave sunk in and put some kind of sliding tubs, like bus tubs, that somebody would use for bussing tables or something, and filling those with straw, or maybe just one large tub. Filling it with straw and something where it can connect and just kind of hang down and have enough support where it won't fall through. Something for the ducks to sit in and get off the ground if they need it. Also, I'm thinking about putting the ramp off the back, which would cut. So I have that backwards. Putting the ducts up forward, same concept. And you see I already have the trailer braces, how it goes out. I have some kind of support. This part would be the walkway, the ramp. And I'll probably just hang feeders and stuff off of a grit feeder, a feeder with grit. And maybe water, I got another 55-gallon drum right there. Something like that to build with put water in it, and maybe a nipple drinker. Ducks are messy, but what do you guys think? Stopped working on it today, and then I wasn't sure if I was gonna build from here up and make this open inside or I could even double up the nesting boxes later on if I needed it. Which I really doubt it, because most chickens, they just like to share the same box. So plenty of room to work with still.
I don't know. I think it's coming together finally. It's nice to have lights, but still has a lot of work, a lot of weight, a lot of stuff I still have to add to this thing. So that's all. I'm trying to brainstorm it. Trying not to make mistakes, so I don't have to correct them, take stuff apart, reassemble. This came together pretty good. Pretty pleased with it. I really didn't think I was gonna. I'm really good with copycatting, and this one I was kind of tired of researching and figured out. You know, once I start working on something, I just kind of takes over. I set myself a little milestone. I knew I wanted these boxes done first, and I made sure I got them both done. Since I had that fresh in my mind on that first box, and my template for the second. All the measurements are basically the same. If any of you guys are interested in this, not that you have a trailer and you're gonna use a trailer as a chicken coop, but you don't have to use the trailer. You could build this thing and just put it on legs. Like I said, this thing is just sitting in those slots right there. And I can bolt them in, but it's heavy enough, it's not coming off. If you guys are interested in this floor plan, it's a large coop. Like I said, my chickens are gonna be outside, so they're not gonna be stuck in here. This is just for them at night to sleep in. They don't need a lot of space at night. So if you guys are interested in something like this, I will gather a parts list with all the lengths of each board, the type of board, lengths, and materials I used. I'm not gonna break down the cost of it. Some of this stuff I had laying around. And I just don't know what some of the stuff costs. I don't remember. Some of the stuff was just I've had for a while. I've been working on this and I stopped working on it, so. But you could easily make this into a fixed chicken coop. It doesn't move. And it'd work out great. You could set the height if you want higher. Modify it if you want. If you wanted to put hinges on this so you can open this up and get your eggs. I might do that still. It's not too late. My wife wants that, I think. To me, it's not a big deal to just crouch down and grab the eggs from the inside right here. But I can see how it's, if we're doing this every day, it can just be faster just to pull this open, reach in there, grab your eggs. Anyways, I like it. I'm pretty pleased with it. Probably gonna paint it. I'm thinking just a regular barn red and white, but I don't know. What do you guys think? The trailer, I don't know. Just probably leave it looking rough, maybe. There it is, guys. My priority was the pheasants, and now it seems like the chickens are getting up there where they need to start laying. They're gonna be laying soon, I mean. So today I saw a chicken this morning kind of acting a little different, laying on the ground when the rest were kind of doing other things. And it made me think, these chickens are getting to that age where they're gonna be laying. And probably should get on this right now. I can close these boxes up right now, side them up, and roll this out to the front in their little fenced-in area. They could use it right now. So at minimum, I just wanted to get this part done. So something for them to lay in. Otherwise, we'll just throw a milk crate in there with some straw for now. So back to work tomorrow, back to the grind. So on vacation, it was a nice week, except for the 3 days that I was sick. So anyways, you guys have anything, any questions, any advice, shoot me a comment.